Hey, what's going on?
Victor's on the roof.
What?
God, what's he doing?
Hey there, Breakdown family, it's Oliver, and we need to talk about what just happened. Because here's the thing about From. Just when you think you understand the rules, just when you think the show is about monsters who come out at night and smile before they rip you apart, it pulls the rug out from under you and reminds you that the scariest thing in Fromville isn't the creatures, it's the people breaking. Welcome back to Episode Breakdown. Today we're diving into Season 4, Episode 6, and the title alone should have told us we were in for pain. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. That's not a monster episode, that's a human episode. And honestly, that's so much worse. Major spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched, go do that. Let's break this down. So Episode 5 ended with Jade tripping absolute balls on some nightmare mushrooms and declaring, with full confidence, that he knows how to save the children. He knows the way home. And Episode 6 immediately says, "Cool story, bro. Now watch reality punch you in the face." We open on a tense, claustrophobic argument between Jade and Boyd in Colony House, and Jade is all in on his theory. The town was built on a sacrifice. Those Anqui children, their bones are buried in the monster tunnels, acting like an anchor, a spiritual tether keeping this entire nightmare dimension locked in place. Boyd, our beautiful, exhausted, done with everything sheriff, is not buying it. And can you blame him? Hey Boyd, let's go into the monster tunnels based on a mushroom vision. It's not exactly a strategy meeting. It's a suicide pact. But Jade pushes back hard. And this line, oof. How many people have you lost, and how many more are we going to lose while you sit on your hands? That's Jade implying that Boyd's cautious good intentions are just slower poison, that holding the town together isn't the same as saving it. So Jade does what any reasonable person would do. He drags Boyd to the Colony House basement to find the red door from his vision. Proof, evidence, validation. And they find a brick wall. Nothing. The door isn't there. Kenny overhears everything, and you can see it on his face. The same thing we're all feeling. Is Jade losing it, or is the town gaslighting him?
How many people are gonna die if you keep sitting on your goddamn hands doing nothing? How many of you already lost?
The fuck you say to me? Say it again. Go ahead, say it again.
But before we can sit with that, there's commotion outside, and it's Victor. Victor is standing on the roof of Colony House, and for a second, just a second, everyone thinks he's about to jump. Boyd rushes up to talk him down. And what Victor reveals is absolutely heartbreaking. He talks about a man from his childhood, someone who hated this place so much that he threw himself from that exact same roof. He just wanted to go home, Victor says, but he only made things worse for everyone else. That guilt, that crushing 40-year-old guilt, Victor has been carrying that weight since he was a child, believing that wanting to leave, that desperation, somehow makes everything worse for the people around him. But here's where the episode does something brilliant. While Boyd is talking Victor down, he's also mining him for information, because that's who Boyd is. Even in a crisis, he's thinking 3 steps ahead. The man in yellow. Victor hesitates, but then he gives us something huge. The man in yellow arrived in a big brown car, and Victor knows exactly where that car is now. Boyd asks him to draw it, and later we see Victor diligently working on that drawing. That car is a thread. And if they can pull it, they might finally figure out who their hidden enemy actually is.
I told your dad he came to town just like everybody else.
Thought his suit was funny. Do you remember what kind of car he came in?
Just when you think the episode is going to catch its breath, Donna and Tabitha's group returns from the settlement, and they bring back a body. Roger is dead, but it's not the smiley monsters that got him. It's dolls, giant life-sized nightmare dolls. Tabitha killed one with a lake totem, which, side note, new combat mechanic unlocked. The totems can hurt these things. That's going to be important later. But the real horror isn't the dolls themselves, it's what they mean. Kenny remembers something Nathan once said, and this is where the show drops a game-changing piece of lore. The worst nightmares of the residents become real when they die in the township. Let that sink in. Tabitha confirms it. She had a traumatic experience with similar dolls in her past, and now the town has weaponized that memory, turned her own fear into a literal monster. That changes everything. Fromville doesn't just generate random horrors, it studies you. It learns your scars, and when you die, or maybe even when someone else dies, it builds new monsters from your psychological wreckage. That is so much worse than predictable night creatures.
We were attacked by giant dolls. Tabitha used it to kill one of the dolls. That was after they got a hold of Roger. We found his body this morning.
And this is where the episode earns its title. Donna, the woman who has held Colony House through starvation, monster attacks, betrayals, and more trauma than any human should survive, finally breaks. Not emotionally, not visibly, but her body just gives up. Massive heart attack, right in front of Boyd. What follows is the most desperate, frantic, terrifying few minutes of the entire season. Boyd hits the ground and starts CPR immediately, and he doesn't stop. Christy and Marielle arrive with a defibrillator. They shock her, nothing. They keep working, nothing. Donna is clinically dead for many minutes, but Boyd refuses to accept it. He keeps pumping her chest. Christy is ready to call it, and Boyd, raging against reality itself, says the line that's going to stick with me forever.
Boyd, it's not gonna work.
I said hit her again! Don't you do this. You don't die until I say you die, you hear me?
You don't get to die until I say so. That's not a medical instruction. That's a man refusing to let hope die, refusing to let another person he loves slip away while he stands there watching. And somehow, miraculously, impossibly, it works. Donna's pulse restarts. But there's a cost. She's comatose, brain damaged from oxygen starvation. She's alive, but she's not Donna yet. And we don't know if she ever will be again.
What was that? You see that?
Yeah.
You see it?
Her pulse is back. It's weak, but it's back.
And here's the moment that destroyed me. Ethan, that sweet, innocent kid who has been to town's hope meter since season 1, senses the finality. He approaches Donna's bedside and asks to say goodbye, and Tabitha lets him. A child saying goodbye to a woman who has been a surrogate mother to everyone in that colony.
Donna, I won't forget what you said. That fear is what makes us heroes. Promise I'll always do my best to be brave. Love you, Donna.
While all this is happening, and this is why I love and hate this show simultaneously, there's a quieter horror unfolding elsewhere. Sophia, the entity wearing a human face, an avatar of the man in yellow. And she set her sights on Henry, Victor's emotionally shattered father. Henry just learned that the man in yellow murdered his wife 40 years ago. He's adrift, he's vulnerable, and Sophia finds him at exactly the right moment. They drink together, she offers a sympathetic ear, she asks probing questions about his family, and it all feels so human, so harmless, until the end of the episode. The implication is quiet, subtle, and absolutely devastating. Sophia slips something into Henry's drink, her blood. Now it's in his system, and that's not a gift, that's a control mechanism, a poison, a ticking time bomb that the man in yellow can detonate whenever he wants. Henry doesn't know he's already lost.
We're trapped in a town we can't escape from, surrounded by monsters that none of it feels real, does it? Have you ever wondered if maybe this is all just a dream?
But not everything in this episode is crushing despair. There are tiny, fragile beams of light. Julie seeks out Sarah to apologize. She admits she never understood what Sarah was going through. The voices, the manipulation, the violence that wasn't really her choice, but Julie thinks she understands now. And Sarah, this broken, ostracized woman that the town still fears, accepts the olive branch. She asks Julie if she wants to help paint a room. It's so small, so ordinary, but in Fromville, ordinary is revolutionary. That's two wounded people choosing connection over isolation.
Before you said you understood what I went through. How?
Something here convinced me that I could still help my dad. I could save him.
And then there's Fatima. She shows Ellis a golem she's built, a mystical totem of protection, and she tells him, "You're not crazy," validating his confusion, his fear, his feeling of failure. These moments matter because if the town is going to weaponize trauma, the only defense is community.
Look, we have seen so much darkness. We live with so much fear. I need to believe in magical things.
Which brings us back to Boyd. He's keeping vigil at Donna's bedside, and he's haunted. Not by monsters, not by the man in yellow, by himself. Father Khatri appears to him, not as a ghost, not as a supernatural convenience, but as a mirror. Khatri pushes Boyd, reminds him that while he waits for certainty, while he looks for perfect information before making a move, people are dying. Some things you have to take on faith. That's the push. That's the shatter. Donna almost died, and Boyd realizes if he had waited one more day, if he had kept being cautious, if he had kept holding the town together instead of fighting for it, he would have lost her without ever taking a real swing.
How am I supposed to take people down into those tunnels when I don't have a fucking clue if what Jade saw is even real?
Some things you just have to take on faith.
So he storms back to the colony house basement, grabs a sledgehammer, and, with a fury that feels like 4 seasons of bottled up helplessness finally finding a release, he swings. Crack, the wall gives way. Behind it, exactly where Jade's vision showed, is a red door. It's real. Jade was right. So here's where we are, Breakdown family. The episode ends not with answers, but with a door. A literal, physical door that connects Colony House directly to the monster tunnels. The danger has always been closer than anyone realized. Those creatures weren't just outside in the dark, they were underneath. They could have come up anywhere, anytime. But here's the other thing. That door is also an opportunity. For the first time, there's a visible path forward, a way to take the fight to the enemy instead of just hiding from it. Jade's wild, mushroom-inspired theory about the children's bones? It's not fantasy anymore. It's a goal, a mission, but the cost is enormous. Opening that door puts all of Colony House at direct risk.
Let go me the fucking door! Holy shit.
Boyd has finally stopped holding the town together. He's chosen to take a swing. And now we find out if that swing breaks the nightmare or just makes it angrier. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter is not a monster episode. It's not a lore dump. It's an episode about the invisible, exhausting cost of carrying hope for other people, about what happens when the people holding everyone up finally crumble, and about the terrifying courage it takes to stop waiting and start swinging. Donna almost died. Henry is compromised. The dolls prove the town can weaponize your past. But Jade was right. The red door is real. And next episode, we're going through it. Drop your theories in the comments. What do you think is behind that door besides the tunnels? Is Donna going to recover? And how long before Sophia's blood turns Henry into a weapon? Subscribe to Episode Breakdown so you don't miss the next breakdown. Hit the bell, and remember, in Fromville, the scariest monsters aren't the ones with smiles. They're the ones who used to be your friends. I'm Oliver. I'll see you in the next breakdown. Stay safe, stay watching, and for the love of everything, don't go in the basement.